Shalom, Israel. All praises to the Most High. I know there's a lot going on right now. It's a lot going on in the world right now, and it's supposed to be a lot going on in the world right now. It's all according to the plan of the Most High. But we have to remember, Israel, that we have to trust the Most High, the Holy One of Israel, the Creator, the only God, the only Lord, the only King. We have to trust Him in all situations. Don't worry about how things look. Don't worry about how bleak things look. Don't worry about how bad things are, because this is all going according to the plans of the Most High. And we have to trust the Most High at all times and trust the Most High only. First Maccabees 2:58. First Maccabees 2:52. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness? Remember when the Most High told Abraham to go sacrifice Isaac, and Abraham jumped up and said, let's get going. We got to go. No question about it. Got to go. He was faithful to the Most High, and it was imputed to him as righteousness, because the Most High was never going to have him do that. But he tested him to see if Abraham loved the Most High more than anything and anyone. Because what happened, the Most High called a meeting of the angels in heaven once again, and Satan showed up, and Satan was telling the Most High, you see, Abraham has forgotten about you. He hadn't made any altars to you. He ain't really been praying to you ever since you gave him and his wife Sarah Isaac as a son. He ain't made no altars to you, 37 years or something, he said. So the Most High was like, okay, go down there and test Abraham. And that was part of the test. But Abraham remained righteous, faithful to the Most High. First Maccabees 2:53. Joseph, in the time of his distress kept the commandment that was made Lord of Egypt. Remember, Joseph was in prison. Joseph was sold into captivity, sold as slaves from his brothers, then Ishmaelites. Then not only that, he was thrown into prison, arrested. Pharaoh's wife wanted him. He wasn't going to do it. So she accused him of attempted rape. He was thrown in prison. He was in prison 12 years. But he never wavered. Despite all of that, Joseph never wavered. He remained loyal and faithful to the Most High, following the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. And when that was over, he was made Lord of all of Egypt. First Maccabees 2:54. Phinehas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Remember Phinehas? When they called a meeting of the Israelites, when the Most High was trying to clean us up, and the Israelites showed up with that Gentile, that Midianite. She was a Hebrew, but she was a Gentile. Remember when that brother showed up with her, and Phinehas went over there and thrust both of them through? Because how dare you show up to a congregation of the Israelites, the chosen of the Most High, with the heathen, and the Most High told us to stay away from heathens and don't get married to heathens and don't have children by heathens, Gentiles. Phinehas went over there and thrust both of them through, and because of that, the Most High made an everlasting priesthood with Phinehas. That's what they're talking about right there. First Maccabees 2:55. Jesus, fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. It says Jesus, but they talked about Joshua. Joshua was made a judge for Israel. That's why Joshua took the Israelites over into the promised land, into the land of Canaan. When the Most High told Joshua, now look, all that land is y'all's. That's y'all inheritance now. So you need to thrust through and destroy every heathen that's on the land, because that's y'all. But Joshua, he fulfilled the word of the Most High. He was made a judge in Israel. First Maccabees 2:56. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the Lord. Remember, Caleb came back. He was like, no, we can beat them. No, Most High, we good on that. When the rest of them was like, man, we can't win that. We can't win. Caleb and Joshua was like, yes, we can. Hell is wrong with y'all? Yes, we can. Faithful. When the Most High sent one person out of all the tribes of Israel, go over there and scout the land and see what's going on. And Caleb from Judah and Joshua, they're the only ones that came back like, yeah, we can win that. We can beat that because the Most High, you fighting with us. But the rest of them cowards, no, we can't win that. Telling the children of Israel, we can't win that. They too big. We can't beat them. But Caleb fulfilled the word, was made a judge in Israel. Now Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. Caleb and Joshua took us over to the promised land. That was Joshua that became a judge, but Caleb received the heritage of the land because they took us over. They took our ancestors over to the promised land, to the land of Canaan. Joshua and Caleb. First Maccabees 2:57. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. How was David merciful? Remember all them times he could have killed King Saul, even though King Saul was trying to kill him? King David, like, man, I done ran up on you while all of y'all was asleep. I didn't touch you, though, because you the king. Who am I to put my hands on you when the creator, the most high, our father, Saul, the Benjamite, when our father made you king? So I ain't finna touch you. I'm not about to kill you, even though you're trying to kill me. I'm not going to disrespect my father, the creator, our father, like that by killing someone that he made king. Because Saul was the first king of Israel. David, he was merciful. So he possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. 58, First Maccabees 2:58. Elijah, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven. Remember how fervent and zealous Elijah was? Elijah went and took on 450 Baal priests, then another 400 in the land. Remember Elijah was all by himself? Ahab was looking for him. Elijah was like, I'm straight. Then he finally told Obadiah, go get him. I'm ready. The Most High is ready for me to talk to him. Elijah rose solo against all them wicked ass, idolatrous ass Israelites, just like I'm rolling solo. I ain't saying I'm Elijah because I'm not Elijah, but I don't mind rolling solo because I got the Most High with me. Elijah, he was zealous and fervent for the law, for he was taken up to heaven. First Maccabees 2:59. Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael. Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael, better known as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, by believing were saved out of the flame. Remember, those were Daniel's partners. Ananias, Azariah, and Mishael, they was thrown into the furnace. Because you know why? They weren't studying about what Nebuchadnezzar was talking about. They wasn't about to worship who Nebuchadnezzar was telling them to worship. He wasn't going to bow down to Nebuchadnezzar and Nebuchadnezzar's wicked ass God. So he decided to throw them in the fire. So what the Most High do? He sent an angel to make that fire feel like this cool mist coming from this fan right here. That's how it felt, and he saved them because Ananias, Azariah, and Mishael, they remained faithful to the Most High. That's why. First Maccabees 2:60. Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of the lions. Daniel as well. Daniel was like, I'm not worshiping your God, your false God Nebuchadnezzar. I'm not doing that, even though I'm living in your house, because the Most High gave them status in the midst of the heathen. Daniel was like, no, man. Punish me all you want to, but I'm not bowing. I'm trusting the Most High. Regardless of what you say, regardless of how much power you think you have, I'm worshiping the Most High. I'm putting my trust in him, not you. So he was delivered from the mouth of the lions. Remember, he was thrown in the lion's den? They came looking for him. That man was chilling. He was knocked out asleep with the lions. The Most High saved him. First Maccabees 2:61. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none put their trust in him shall be overcome. The Most High said throughout the ages, all of us that put our trust in him, we shall not be overcome. And let me pronounce their names correctly again. Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I didn't want to leave that out there, but I was rushing through. So First Maccabees 2:61 says, and thus consider ye throughout all ages, that includes us too, all ages, that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. That means all of us that trust in him, and don't worry about what these heathen talking about. Don't worry about their threats. He says, as long as we trust in him, the Most High, we shall not be overcome. And that's the word. Psalm 115:9. O Israel, trust thou in the Lord. He is their help and their shield. Verse 10, O house of Aaron, my house. Trust in the Lord. He is their help and their shield. 11, ye that fear the Lord, trust in the Lord. He is their help and their shield. Once again, you trust the Most High. Nobody else. Because there's no Savior but the Most High. No one can help us but the Most High. And who he sends. Because it's the Most High doing it. You don't worry. You always trust the Most High, Israel. Sirach 30:21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. That which means don't be worrying about things we can't control because we don't control anything. So don't give yourself over to your own counsel like, God dang, how I'm going to get up out of this? How I'm going to fix this? What's wrong? The Most High does that. He fixes it. So don't worry about all that. You trust in him. Always trust the Most High. Trust the Most High. Don't trust men. Especially don't trust the heathen. Don't trust the Gentiles. Don't make deals with them thinking they're going to help us because they're not going to do it. The Most High is the only help. Now, anytime they do help us, it's the Most High is doing. So we always trust him. We put our trust in him. Mordecai, a Benjamite. Remember him, the uncle of Esther? If you don't know who Mordecai is, he's the Benjamite, the uncle of Esther. He was trying to be forced by Ammon, who was a servant of King Artaxerxes. Call him what you ever want to call him, king of Persia. So Ammon wanted Mordecai and the rest of the Jews and the Israelites to bow down to the king of Persia. He wanted them to bow down. So Ammon had the king, tricked the king, the Persian king, not tricked him, but convinced him. Man, put a decree out to kill all the Israelites in the land. All the Jews that we see. Ammon said, put a decree out to kill them all because they don't want to live like us. They don't want to follow our laws. They don't want to serve our gods. They don't want to do anything that we want them to do. They don't want to do anything they tell us to do. They want to live according to their own ways. They want to be set apart. Like the Most High told us, we're set apart and to live set apart. So Ammon convinced the king, convinced the king, Artaxerxes, or however you want to pronounce his name, the Persian king, man, put a decree out to kill them all. But Mordecai wasn't doing none of that. Mordecai was like, bro, I don't care what you talking about. I'm worshiping and we worshiping the Most High God only, the Holy One of Israel. Ammon didn't like that. Ammon said, no, y'all bow down to me, bow down to us, bow down to the king of Persia, bow down to our gods, worship what we worship. But Mordecai, nope, I'm remaining faithful and loyal to the Most High. Even though it seemed like Mordecai didn't have much. But he had the riches and the love of the Most High because he loved the Most High. And he remained faithful and loyal to the Most High. So Mordecai was like, you know what? No, boss. I don't care anything about what you're saying, King Artaxerxes or Artaxerxes or whatever. Or Ammon. I don't care about what you're talking about. Nope. So in addition to Esther, it tells you, in addition to Esther, chapter 4, verse 8, then Mordecai thought upon all the works of the Lord and made his prayer unto him. So Mordecai sat and thought about everything that the Most High did, everything that the Most High has said, all the promises he made to us if we remain loyal to him and only worship him and don't worry about threats from some old nasty ass heathens. So he thought about all of that. So he prayed to the Most High. Additions to Esther chapter 4, verse 9, saying, O Lord, the King Almighty, for the whole world is in thy power. And if thou hast appointed to save Israel, there is no man that can gainsay thee. Mordecai was saying, look, Most High, I'm praying to you because this is your world. This is your kingdom. You control everything. So if it's your will to save us, can't nobody stop that. Can't nobody do nothing about it. Additions to Esther chapter 4, verse 10. For thou hast made heaven and earth and all the wondrous things under heaven. It's right. The Most High made everything. Verse 11, thou art Lord of all things, and there is no man that can resist thee, which art the Lord. Thou knowest all things, and thou knowest, Lord, that it was It was neither in contempt nor pride for the desire of glory that I did not bow down to the proud Ammon. Mordecai was saying, Most High, you know why I didn't bow down to Ammon. It ain't because I'm prideful. It ain't because I'm just being hard-headed to him. It ain't because I'm trying to live in contempt. I'm trying to be faithful to you. That's why I didn't bow down to him. I ain't looking for no pride. I ain't looking to be considered a martyr. I ain't bow down to him because I don't bow down to anybody but you, creator. So Mordecai was telling the Most High that. This is to Esther chapter 4, verse 13. For he said, for he could have been content with goodwill for the salvation of Israel to kiss the soles of his feet. So Mordecai was like, nah, I could have thought about the children of Israel and thought about Ammon and what the king was saying, that, okay, you're going to kill me and kill all of us. Okay, I'll go down and bow down to you and kiss the soles of your feet. He said it could have been for content and for the goodwill of Israel. He said, I could have did that. But Mordecai said, no, the hell I'm going to do that for? He said, no, I'm not doing that. This is to Esther chapter 4, verse 14. But I did this that I might not prefer the glory of man above the glory of God. Neither will I worship any but thee, O God, neither will I do it in pride. Mordecai said, I did this not to be glorified by man, but I want to be glorified by the Most High. This is the Esther verse 15. And now, O Lord God and King, spare thy people, for thy eyes are upon us to bring us to naught. Yea, they desire to destroy the inheritance that hath been thine from the beginning. Despise not the portion which thou hast delivered out of Egypt for thine own self. The Most High, Mordecai was praying to the Most High like they're ready to kill us. They're ready to kill us because we won't worship what they worship. We won't worship these false gods and these devils that they want us to worship. So he was like, look, despise not the portion which thou hast delivered out of that thou hast delivered out of Egypt for thine own self. We are that portion that the Most High has delivered out of Egypt as well. Because the Most High, he said he delivered us for his sake, not for ours. That's how much he loves us. This is to Esther chapter 4, verse 17. Hear my prayer and be merciful unto thine inheritance. Turn our sorrow into joy, that we may live, O Lord. Praise thy name, but destroy not the mouths of them that praise thee, O Lord. All Israel in like manner cried most earnestly unto the Lord, because their death was before their eyes. Now all the Israelites were like, man, this dude about to kill us. They're about to kill us. So Mordecai was like, you know what? I'm praying to you, Most High, because if you have ordained to save us, can't nobody stop you from saving us. I don't care what they say. Just like they can't nobody stop you from doing anything, that we can't stop them from doing anything to us if you have ordained it. So Mordecai was like, no, I'm going to remain faithful to you. Even Queen Esther, she prayed to the Most High. She humbled herself. She took off all those royal garments, took off that ointment, and basically put ashes and dung on her body. She humbled her body, put on rags, and prayed to the Most High like, look, they're trying to kill us. And even though Queen Esther was married to the king, but she was like, no, I'm not going to worship what they worship either. They're trying to kill us. So she humbled herself and prayed to the Most High for 3 days. She put on rags. She put on ashes and dung, covered her bodies in ashes and dung. She humbled herself. This is beautiful, gorgeous Esther, a queen. And she humbled her body and humbled herself before the Most High. After 3 days of praying, she cleaned herself up, put her perfume and her ointments back on, put her royal garments back on, got beautified again, and went before the king. And the king looking at her, what's wrong with you? What's the problem? So the Most High put it on the king, Artaxerxes, put it on his spirit, like, what's wrong? What? He changed his countenance. When Queen Esther talked to him, and he also listened to Mordecai, he's like, hold on. And the Most High put it on his spirit and made him turn on Ammon, because Ammon wasn't a Persian. He was a stranger to them. He was a Macedonian. So the Most High put it on the king like, hold on. This Macedonian is trying to make us go against the chosen people of the Most High, trying to make me kill the chosen people of the Most High. Because the Most High made the king remember, like, look who put you in power now. Because he was given power as part of our punishment. We going into captivity under them. So because of our punishment and being thrown into captivity, he get lifted up as a king and given power and prestige. So the Most High made the king. Remember that. You're like, hold on, you're a Macedonian. So you trying to trick us and make us kill our God, because he knew that they knew who the creator was. But even though the Most High had them serving and worshiping other gods, he says, but you want us to kill the children of the Most High, the children of the God that put me in power? I see what you're trying to do. You trying to get me to kill them. So the Most High will punish me so you can get the Macedonians and give them our position and status. King was like, nah, so Amen, you're the one that's going to be hung. The Most High did that. He did that. So he ended up what Amen wanted to kill us off. The Most High switched it and had the king hang him and save us. And Mordecai got status in the kingdom. Esther already had it. So that's why we have to trust in the Most High at all times and pray to him. And I don't care how bleak it looks, how bad it looks, how many threats they throw upon us. You don't worry about it. We don't live like the heathen. We don't follow their ways. We don't get into idolatry. Turn back from idolatry if you're into idolatry, and worship the Holy One of Israel, the Creator. And don't worry about their threats. We trust in the Most High because he's the only God. He's the only Savior. So that's what that's about, regardless of what it looks, because there's a lot going on right now. But the Most High is the only one that can clean this up. The Most High is the only one that can make the heathen stop killing the heathen. The Most High is the only one who can make the heathen stop killing us. The Most High is the only one that can make us stop killing us and raping each other and robbing from one another and mistreat. He's the only one. So we only pray to him. We don't go to them trying to make deals. No, you go to the Father and he'll make them come to us. We're sorry. Because he says he's going to make our enemies our footstools. So trust in the Most High, regardless of how it looks, regardless of what the heathen say. Trust in the Most High and always pray to him. Shalom.